Hi guys, Jamie Fluke here for Apex Racing Team. With the 25 Season 3 update that has just been released on iRacing, we're a little bit short on new content, but we do have a massive update in terms of the GT3s, in terms of their tyres, the overall physics, aerodynamic balance and performance. I'll happily take a look and see what's different, what's new, what you need to look out for, and what we can look forward to for the upcoming season. Alright, so we'll start off with the tyres. This is the one big sticking point that a lot of people really dislike about the existing GT3 generation. So there's been a massive change with a big emphasis on the tyres starting off very cold. I did a stint just a short while ago, and you can sort of see the lap time progression of what that sort of looks like. It takes about 4 or 5 laps around Sebring here in sort of moderately cool conditions to get the tyres fully up to temperature and pressure, and then it's pretty stable from there. This time I'm gonna take a quick look and sort of show how difficult the car is on cold tyres, and yeah, what we then maybe need to look out for. So I'm in the car, got a fresh set of tyres on. You'll be able to see my session optimal towards the bottom left of the screen, just to sort of show how much time I'm losing versus a flat out flying lap with the tyres fully up to temperature. So need to be very cautious. Easy does it. So there's already 3/4 of a second lost on the outlap. So any ideas of taking 1 or 2 tyres in a sprint series race are completely out of the window. Braking performance is actually quite good in the Mercedes from what I've tried. I've tried a couple of cars at this point, and the Mercedes is pretty strong in this department. But yeah, really struggling to get the front end in there. You'll slowly be able to push more and more as you go along. But if I try and give it a bootful on the way out, the car will want to slide pretty quickly. One thing that I have noticed in particular is that if you have a wobbly moment on entry, or even through the middle of the corner, the car will want to keep pushing in that direction, kind of like how we had before. But as we come towards turn 1 again, if you have overcooked the tyre, you should still have pretty much maximum grip as you come towards the next corner. So I believe the issues that we've had before, where if you make one small mistake on the stint and then your pace is kind of ruined thereafter, I believe that's been resolved, which is a massive upgrade. So what I was hoping for, in particular on their braking, was that we could be really aggressive with the brake pedal. That doesn't seem to ring true at this point. You can really aggressively hit the brake and the car will stop, but then you can then struggle with front grip on the way through the middle of the corner. So any aspirations of smashing the brake pedal very hard on entry and then bleeding off and driving it a bit more traditionally, rather than the sort of bell curve brake traces that we've come to see over the last few years, I don't think that's going to change a massive amount. So I got a little bit more front end there, just by being a little bit more circumspect with my left foot. From my initial findings here, we definitely want to keep the traction control on. Not in terms of traction reasons, but it just seems inefficient if we try and turn the TC off. You just don't get the same drive off the corner, which is a positive that iRacing have updated their algorithms on that one. There is a lot of traction, even with the traction control off, but seem to have lost a little bit of momentum and ground there. Not by much, but just a little bit. I don't see a world where we're toggling TC by any means. Final point I sort of want to make is on the setups. Everything from last season will be rendered obsolete, unfortunately, so you're going to have to largely start from scratch. A lot of stuff within the chassis you can probably keep in terms of your spring rates, although we've got bump rubber gaps on more of the GT3, so that's something to take into consideration as well. But in general, we'll still be running A lot of things mechanically quite similar, but aerodynamically things will be vastly different. On the fixed set here in the Mercedes, that actually works quite well as a high downforce setup, but I tried the Acura on a high downforce setup. It's very, very understeery, so something that's maybe more like a medium downforce package will work better around here. So setups will need to be updated and changed. You won't have too long to wait from our end in terms of those being provided. Week 1 setups are being built as we speak. Just head over to apexracingac.com and sign up to get your subscription for the upcoming season. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the changes to the GT3 for this season. It's a little bit of a mixed bag. I was really hoping and expecting that it would be this revolutionary change and we'd have a completely new sort of approach to driving the GT3s, but aside from the cold tires and a little bit more forgiveness when we overload the tire, fundamentally how we drive the car isn't all that much more different, and I was kind of hoping that it would be. So we're still trying to drive a little bit under the limit and not trying to overstep the mark, but it's a step in the right direction with iRacing, so I can't be too disappointed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.